Do you think there's any qualities that Filipinos have that women from other countries, specifically here, don't have that make them more attractive or more alluring?
Fit, feminine, friendly, and cooperative.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Outside of that, you don't find a lot of entitledness. You know,
No.
you don't find a lot of, I need this, I deserve that, you pay this, you pay that,
What are the challenges nowadays of living in the U.S.?
Well, living in the U.S., you do get, again, you get what you pay for, but you get to do whatever it is that you choose to do without anybody hassling you, and so you can do that, but you got to have the kind of cash to do it. And so, there's sometimes when, there's places here in the city like, oh my God, I can't afford that.
Right.
I can't afford to eat that. I can't afford to drink there.
Right.
So the challenges are, finances.
What is up, folks? Welcome back to Richie Rich Abroad. I'm your host, Richie Rich, bringing you the sights and sounds of San Francisco. Today is a special broadcast, meeting up with Slick Rick, the one and the only. We're going to check out the Warriors game together. It's a huge game, and everybody's riled up and hyped up. So this should be fun, and it's my first time meeting Slick Rick in person. So anyway, here's the sights and sounds of San Francisco. And Oracle Park, where the San Francisco Giants play is right there. Definitely been here. It brings back some good memories. Brings back some great memories. Again, it's great visiting here, but I don't want to come back to live. But it feels good being here. Yellow and white stripe. Here we go. All right, so I'm supposed to go meet up with Slick Rick, but I think he's going to call me in a little bit because he's going to realize that he gave me some bad intel. Let's see if we can get to Slick Rick, and let's also see if we can get a close-up to one of these driverless cars so you guys can peep these out. So there's a driverless car over here. I'm kind of going to creep up on it a little bit. Hopefully I don't scare the passenger, but I just want to have you peep these guys out. And this is what it looks like. This car, as you can see, has no driver, right? And this is the future, right? You'll see more and more of these. It started in California, but it's going to be all over the entire United States. And soon enough, in the next 5 years, you'll start seeing these all over the world. But this is San Francisco. You'll notice as I'm walking, there's a whole bunch of these. All right, let's go. All right, so we're back on top. A beautiful sight in front of Willie Mays Plaza and Oracle Park, where the San Francisco Giants play. Waiting for Slick Rick to come. He said he should be here in 3 minutes. This should be cool. We're an all day with Slick Rick, and yeah, this should be really cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Hey, so look who dropped in. Who is this cat? Rick is in the house. We're gonna go over. We're gonna go over to this joint and check out the Warriors game. So walk on over with us, and we'll chop it up along the way. So
What's happening?
What's happening, man? So this is. You guys don't know. I've been a little excited about this day, hanging out with Slick Rick. We kind of hooked up online and talked a lot and chopped it up, and we got a lot in common, especially both of us being from the Bay.
Right.
So this is like, this is a cool day for me, really.
It's a little bit of a homecoming, huh?
It is. It's a good homecoming. Had a good time with my family last night, and we kind of made this plan to get together today and watch a little bit of the Giants game before the Warriors game starts. And eat a little bit, have a couple of beers, and chop it up some. So,
I tell you, man, It's packed over there.
Is it really crazy?
It's packed.
I figured it would. It's a big game. I had to stop and buy me a little Warriors sweatshirt on the way. Yeah, you got your gear? Yeah, I had to get me a sweatshirt.
Cross out here, brother.
Okay, let's go. Okay. All right, so Chase Center was jam-packed. So me and Slick Rick said we ain't doing none of that. So we decided we're going to come to the UD Cantina. And this joint is right across the street from Oracle Park, where the Giants play, and it's pretty cool inside. I'll take you inside. We'll have a look. All right, so this is Underdog's Cantina. It's a pretty cool joint. Give you a look around. It's got the full bar, the arcade, a whole bunch of big screen TVs for us to check out the Masters. We got the Masters, we got the Giants game, and we're waiting for the Warriors game to start. So this is a cool little joint, little arcade action upstairs where you can check out the game. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I like a quiet place. I like to cheer and I like a whole bunch of people, but I want space. I like my space too. So this is like the perfect place for us. Let's go down and check out Slick Rick. And we're here because in the Philippines, I told you, we can't get good nachos. It's the one thing I'm gonna complain about. I ain't gonna say nothing about the food. I'm not saying I like the food, but I'm just saying it's tough to get good nachos. But here in California, damn it,
we got some good nachos.
Watch the Giants game and enjoy a conversation and catch up a little bit. We'll get back to you guys in a little bit. We're gonna get our grub on right now. Hanging out with my man Slick Rick. How do you beat this on a Sunday? In the Bay Area, this is what it's supposed to be like. Slick, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Just hanging out with you. We always talked about it, and now that it's happened. It's
that's the coolest thing. We talk about doing it, and then we get together and we get to do it on a Sunday in the Bay Area. Beautiful weather.
70 degrees.
70 degrees, right? Beautiful weather, not a cloud in the sky. I don't know how it gets better.
It doesn't. It don't get no better.
All right.
Salute. Cheers.
Cheers to you. Come see Justin over at the Underdog Cantina. Boo! Warriors lost, Clippers won, but the show goes on. As our promise, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Slick Rick.
How y'all doing, man?
So Slick, so first of all, where are you from?
I'm from the city.
We all know. If you say you're from the city, we understand you're from San Francisco. You're not from one of the surrounding cities. You are from San Francisco.
And so not from San Fran.
Yeah.
Not from
Frisco.
Frisco's in Texas.
Yeah, Frisco's in Texas.
There's a little bit of a distance there. No, Frisco's from Texas.
Yeah. If you're from the Bay, you don't call it none of those names. You call it the city. Right. So, bro, how did you discover our YouTube channel?
Well, like anything else, I mean, I had a few extra hours in my day when the pandemic hit, so I just punched up Philippines, and a few other channels came up, and Smoothly would come on. He would come on there and make a comment.
Shout out to Smoothly, we appreciate you, bro.
He really was saying some stuff, and so I followed him one day. I'm like, hey, man, this guy, he gets it. And one day he shouted you guys out, and I started to watch your channel, and I'm like, this guy's from the Bay Area, man. He is from the Bay Area because you're right. And little by little, I started to watch more of his videos. In fact, it's a funny story. I started to binge watch. Literally, I binge watched your channel to the point where you had even asked me, "Are you getting any sleep?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. I'm like, "Do you sleep, brother?" Because you would be commenting at 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, "Brother, are you sleeping? Are you okay?"
I'm concerned for your sleep, man. You're concerned for your welfare.
Exactly.
Another big kick I got was when you tried the balut.
The balut, yeah.
You're like. Yeah. Like you were chewing gum.
It was one of those things where, you do it because you do it to say you did it, but it's not something you would do every day or all the time at all. Yeah. Exactly.
Plus, I think it's high in cholesterol, really, because it's like a hard-boiled egg.
It's eggs, right? Yeah. So.
And then I just a little shout out to Ching. Another video that I got a big kick out of was the very first interview you did with Ching.
How different does she look?
Oh my God! I was like, she's this person with the glasses, that's kind of straight hair, and
right.
Did not look like Ching. I didn't think anything of it. I was listening to it. The audio was a little bit difficult, but you could kind of. But then she started to laugh.
Yeah.
She started like, oh.
Yeah, it's definitely Ching. Huh?
I was like, I recognize that person.
By the way, Ching, we miss you. Counting down 12 days, but we're gonna have some fun in the meantime. But anyway.
Wish you were here.
Yeah, exactly. Have any of our videos influenced your opinion about visiting the Philippines or what you want to do if you do visit the Philippines?
I would say yes. I mean, the influence is there. In my case, I've been to the Philippines a few times. Right. There's a lot of places that it's a kind of a huge place, really. Right. A lot of places I've not been to, but my thing now is that I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the Philippines. The culture, I can kind of understand it. At some point, I would like to retire out there. That's just like I don't want to say everybody's dream, but that's kind of what I've been thinking about, because I've been there and I love the culture so much. I've been around it, my neighbors, and growing up in the city, in elementary school and junior high school in general, Filipinos were predominantly the second largest.
Huge Philippines culture.
Second largest, race that there was.
Oh, for sure.
You start to identify with it. You know, in fact,
it's a huge Philippines culture out here in the Bay Area.
That's that's where I got that from, really.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you were born here in the Bay Area?
I was born in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Houston, Texas. We moved out when we were when we moved from Texas, we moved out to California. San Diego was the first place we landed. From there, we moved to the city, and I never left. The city's my home, and I love my city.
Cool, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of good things about the city. I mean, in fact, we were just talking about this earlier with you, Richie, about the cuisine.
Yeah.
Any kind of cuisine, whether you want like Japanese food, French food,
everything
Italian,
you want. Everything
Mexican.
you want, you get it.
Oh my Lord, the Mexican food here. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. In fact, he had his nachos that you've been craving.
I wanted them nachos. How was the nachos? They were legit, right?
Yeah, I mean,
the nachos was legit.
They were something like, they were pretty authentic. So,
what do you love about living in the U.S.?
Right.
And what are the challenges nowadays of living in the U.S.?
Well, living in the U.S., you do get. I mean, again, you get what you pay for, but you get to do whatever it is that you choose to do without anybody hassling you. You know, and so you can do that, but you got to have the kind of cash to do it. And so, I mean, there's sometimes when there's places here in the city like, oh my God, I can't afford that.
Right.
I can't afford to eat that. I can't afford to drink there.
Right.
So the challenges are, finances.
Yeah, it's definitely an issue, right? You've been to the Philippines a couple times.
Right.
In your opinion, how does daily life here in the city, we'll just use California, in San Francisco, how does daily life compare to living or to being in the Philippines, in your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, because I've only vacationed there.
Right.
I've not lived there. I mean, it's a pleasure. I mean, it truly is a pleasure to visit.
Yeah.
And like, if I wanted to do this or go to this beach or go see this little park or whatever, it's a pleasure to do all this. It's not like it's a challenge or anything like that. You just want to get up and go and do it. So as far as living, I can't sit there and say that, man, I want to have this, I want to have that, because I don't know. I've not lived there. So, I mean, I've only been there for a sake of like three weeks to a month. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's a challenge to go, oh man, I wanted to try this, but they don't have it.
Right.
They're out of it. So you got to kind of go with the next plan B. So that's, in my experience, it's a minute challenge.
I learned to make do with what we have. It's just, to me, I enjoy the Philippines so much. Just hanging out and just having a simple life.
Right.
Just keeping life simple. I love that about it, right? Obviously, here in the city, there's a whole bunch of Filipinos here. There's a big Filipino culture. Do you have a lot of Filipino friends, or do you?
Well, yeah. I mean, again, and go to the public schools here in the city. The second largest community was the Filipino community. For those that are in the Bay Area, know that Daly City is a huge Filipino community.
Right.
So I always kind of grew up with them, and again, we identified with each other because similarities. It was wonderful, and it still is not stopped because my neighbors. I have like about a third of my neighbors are Filipinos,
right?
And I'm always kind of like chopping it up with them. We're having beers and this and that, or they'll have like lumpias for me.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever see yourself maybe moving to the Philippines, retiring in the Philippines? What do you have like any kind of end game or plan to maybe go out to the Philippines, retire, move there on a permanent basis?
Of course. I mean, that's my biggest dream, is to move out there and live out there. My biggest challenge is my health, like anybody else. You got to pay attention to your health. And in fact, we're going to give another shout out to Smooth Lee. He said, man, you got to make sure you go to do your checkups, because you just have to. And so my biggest thing is the health. And as long as I can like keep that under control, then I won't even hesitate.
This question comes straight from Ching. She wants to know, have you ever been in a relationship with a Filipina? And if so, what was that experience like?
Yes, I have. In high school.
Okay.
My one and only girlfriend in high school was a Filipina. And little by little, I started to notice some traits, and I didn't know what a tampo was. And there's, in high school, you don't know a lot of things.
You're going to learn today.
But she did one, and I was like, okay, what did I do? What did I say? I just know that she ain't talking to me. And she actually walked away from me. So I'm not the type that's going to chase you. So I just let her walk away.
I ain't doing none of that.
I let her walk away. And next day, school started again. Next day, she's trying to talk. Like, okay, well.
Oh, we're cool now?
I did one of these, like, okay, well, you kind of pulled this number on me, so you better explain yourself.
Right.
So she did, and I said, okay, that's fine. We'll let it slide. She pulled it again, and I was like, okay. At that point, I said, you know what, this little thing, again, I didn't know what a tampo was. I said, this little silent treatment, in fact, I call it, that you pull, this isn't going to happen. This is high school, so what are you going to do? So anyway, that stopped. So, you know, at that point, I would say that that's my only, you know, relationship here as far as a Filipina. Now, in the Philippines, I mean, I've met people, and a lot of the same stories that you hear, the horror stories, but, you know, it's just, you meet them to get possessive, and all of a sudden, here it comes. I need the load.
A lot of jealousy, a lot of possessiveness, and a lot of your time and attention.
Oh yeah, I need the load, and inevitably, and it's not a joke, but the sick parable comes around. The sick grandfather, my grandfather died, and then I started to say, well, how many grandfathers do they have?
A lot of them apparently. Yeah.
So, those were the red flags.
I'm
sorry, I didn't mean to tell you. Sorry. Those were the red flags that I started to see. You know, I was like, that wasn't for me. Yeah. So I immediately just stopped that.
Right.
You know, the phone calls are cool, the texting are cool, the video chats are cool.
But it's got to be face to face.
That's not 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, that's not 24/7. So you don't know, when you haven't heard from this person in X amount of time, what she's up to. And I do remember a vlogger saying the right amount of jealousy. The right amount of jealousy is the best.
Just enough is good enough. So in your opinion, what do you think is the biggest cultural differences between Americans and Filipinos? So you've had a little bit of experience. What do you think is the biggest cultural differences?
I would say that the Filipino culture is a lot more richer, if you will. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a rich culture. The biggest difference is that the culture over there is pretty traditional.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty traditional. A lot like, you know, the Mexican culture, very traditional cultures. You know, it's very family oriented. Mm-hmm. The family orientation over here, the family orientation is just not as close as you would think it is. Mm-hmm. You know, as it is out in the Philippines, where they take care of the elders and so on. Yeah. Over here, they're like they
old folks home.
Yeah, they shoo them away. Oh, you need to go here. You'll love it here. You know.
Put them in an old folks home.
Yeah, right? You'll love it here. You'll meet new friends.
Yeah,
you'll
have you'll be out of our hair. Right. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. What advice would you, since you've been to the Philippines, you've been here, you have a lot of experience being around people from the Philippines, what advice would you give to a foreigner who's thinking about coming to the Philippines or moving to the Philippines?
My biggest advice would be to have an open mind.
Okay.
Have an open mind. Don't be in a hurry to do anything. You know, just be patient. Just appreciate what these people have to offer. Exactly. I mean, that's something to be said. Appreciate what these people have to offer. They do offer a lot. I mean, just the overall friendliness.
Right. What advice would you give to a foreign man looking to date a Filipina?
Again, just take your time. There's a whole lot of them. I mean, it's just
a whole bunch of them.
In fact, I think there's
not
more.
Not just one.
Not just, I can reach that. You know,
right.
I'm going to grab that one.
Low-hanging fruit.
You know, it's just have that open mind and be yourself. And if you've got issues where you might have a little social awkwardness, kind of work on that. You just got to make sure that you're yourself and you just take your time with everything. Don't be in a hurry to meet to shack up or hook up with the very first one you met. Oh my God, this is for me. You know, I don't think that's going to work. In fact, you'll end up with a massive headache if anything.
I totally agree.
Or you might even get taken for what you're worth. Yeah. You just got to be careful with them. So, and that's just true of any woman, not just Filipinas. Mm-hmm. Any woman can do that to you. So you just got to be careful. Take your time, you know, and what we like to say is vet carefully. And if you're not sure, vet again.
Boom. What attracted you to Filipinas? I mean, is there a specific trait or quality that Filipinas have that attract you to them?
The smile.
No, the smile is kind of cool, right? The smile, the laugh.
Exactly.
Just the outgoing
nature of it.
Yeah.
And, they're funny.
Right.
They're some of the most funniest people.
Yeah.
You come up, that you see, like it's just endless entertainment. When you meet one that's just like incredibly funny. Initially, the smile, the looks, the eyes, the black hair. You know, it's just how they take care of themselves, how they present themselves. A lot of them are meticulous about how they want to look.
Do you think there's any qualities that Filipinas have that women from other countries, specifically here, don't have that make them more attractive or more alluring?
Fit, feminine, friendly, and cooperative.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Outside of that, you don't find a lot of entitledness. You know,
No.
you don't find a lot of, I need this, I deserve that, you pay this, you pay that, But they don't sit there and go, well, you're going to pay for that?
Right.
Or I need an Uber, can you send that?
Right.
Can you send money for my babysitter?
Where they're feeling entitled for everything. Like you're supposed to do stuff for them because they're a woman.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, I've seen some videos where like, really? You're going to treat a guy that way? Well, no wonder you're toxic.
That's it. Speaking of toxic, don't forget, we're starting our new series, Toxic Tuesdays, where we're going to talk about some toxic traits from people from all countries, the Philippines, the U.S., China, all over the world. We're going to talk about toxic relationships and how to stay out of them, how to avoid them, and all those things. So stay tuned to that. Stay tuned for that. You guys are really going to enjoy it, I'm sure. Can you think about your favorite place or your favorite experience out in the Philippines when you visit the Philippines?
My favorite place.
Yeah, or experience.
I would say as a whole, the entire experience. Cebu has so far been my favorite experience over there. I've been to Macau, Mobile. I may be mispronouncing that, so excuse me. Just in general like that. There's been to a lot of places. People have taken me around, like my contacts, they've taken me here and there, and I don't necessarily remember all the names. There's just so many different names. Right. But I just remember the white sand beaches and like, wow.
Yeah, the white sand beaches. That's what's up for me. The mountains, the beaches, the outdoors stuff is what I love. Exactly. The weekend stuff, when I'm not working, I'm just doing video stuff. That's the stuff I love the most. Hanging out with Cheng, doing some stuff, making videos, or just us going out somewhere to a resort or something like that. It's unbeatable. Unbeatable. I just want simple stuff. I just want simplicity, and being able to go out and enjoy simple things like that. Really, I love it.
And it's at that point you start to appreciate life, and you sit there and say to yourself, life is good.
Yeah, keep it simple. Keep it simple and it's good. Yeah. If you had to describe the Philippines in one word, what would it be? One word.
Paradise.
Paradise. I like that. Okay.
Can I use 2 words?
I'll give you 2. Ching said 1.
Ultimate paradise.
Ultimate paradise. Okay. All right. Ching, is that okay? Ultimate paradise?
You can do me pass?
I want to say peace of mind, but that's 3 words, huh?
I get you.
Peace. It's just at peace.
Peace is a wonderful thing, man, because it's like you just want to kind of come home and not worry about crap.
Nothing like it. What message would you give to nice Filipinas out there who might be looking for a relationship with a foreign guy? What message would you give to them?
I am currently single. I could be entertaining. I'm sure that you guys are entertaining. So, it's just currently single, not seeing anybody. Although I'm not necessarily in a hurry to get into a relationship. So you just never know.
So there you have it, ladies. There might even be some certain ladies in our comments or some certain ladies in our audience who might be interested in a nice, handsome young man from the Bay Area here in California. I got a question for you. So, we chopped it up in our chat. We chopped it up outside of the chat. We meet face to face for the first time today. Do I look different, or am I different, or am I the same than what you thought I was? Be honest.
Be honest?
Yeah.
A little slightly bigger than I expected you to be. It's just you're more fuller than I expected you to be. If I had to describe you as use a football as an analogy, I pictured you to be like a linebacker stature. You're more like a running back, brother.
Thank you.
Like whoa. So when I panned to look around because I saw I couldn't find you, and I saw the dude walking around with his camera. So that's why I told you, don't stop filming. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but in all honesty, you kind of looked how because obviously I see you on the video, so you looked the way I thought you would look.
Before we talked, we both had our whole mind, like what you look like. And then when I talked to you, I was like, oh, Ching, he don't sound nothing like he don't sound nothing like what you don't think, right? And it was a surprise to me, but in truth, the first time I talked to you, I instantly felt comfortable. And I kind of feel like this is the kind of dude I could hang out with. I could kick it with this dude. We could chop it up and talk about a multitude of different stuff, and I would feel comfortable.
Well, You make a comment, they will reply.
Yeah,
they will reply, and they almost immediately, actually.
Which you know what, we made a commitment to our audience when we first started this. We said the way to gain loyal people who are going to stay with us and who are going to watch us grow, support us, is when they comment, we give them the grace we give. We commit to them that we're going to respond to their comments. We'll wrap this video up. Slick Rick, it's been a pleasure to meet you, but it's been a pleasure to spend the day with you today.
It's all mine, brother.
Yeah, too bad the Warriors lost, but we had some good drinks and some good nachos, and we still got tomorrow.
How are those nachos, by the way?
The nachos were good. The nachos were much better than anything we had. The nachos were much better than any nachos I've had in other countries.
And we're gonna send this to you,
Yeah,
Shane.
yeah. I'm getting a big bottle of this. I'm bringing it home because you know I love Tapatio sauce. You guys know what to do. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you're still watching, you must have liked the video. So give us a thumbs up and hook us up, man. According to YouTube, the best way to support our channel and help us grow is to watch another one of our videos right after this one. Slick, how you doing, man?
Well, I gotta get the microphone on.
You can just hold it.
All right.
Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. You all know it's tomorrow because I'm just going to edit this video.
As it keeps being said, the feminine,
Fit, feminine, and friendly.
feminine.
If you like this video, we got a whole bunch of other videos that are just as good, if not better. So check those out too. In the meantime, I'm Richie Rich for Richie Rich Abroad, and this is
Slick Rick.
Until then, deuces.
Peace.
We're out.